therapeutic process, a word you might come across is enmeshment. So what is it? Enmeshment is a complex and dysfunctional family dynamic or relationship pattern that occurs when boundaries between individuals are blurred and in some cases entirely non-existent. This pattern is characterized by an excessive level of emotional closeness and dependency to the extent that individual identities become intertwined, making it profoundly challenging for people to differentiate themselves from each other. Enmeshment, often considered unhealthy, can give rise to a wide variety of emotional and psychological issues affecting individuals and relationships in some of the following ways. Number one, lack of boundaries. Enmeshed individuals typically have poorly defined or non-existent emotional boundaries. They may feel responsible for each other's emotions, thoughts, and actions, leading to confusion and a lack of personal space. This can happen often when there are responsibilities and power dynamics embedded into the relationship. Number two, emotional dependency. Enmeshed individuals often exhibit a high level of emotional dependency on each other. Their emotional well-being may become excessively reliant on the validation, approval, and presence of an enmeshed family member, partner, or friend. Think about parents that live to ensure that their children appear happy. They rely on this appearance of happiness to combat their own internal sense of unhappiness. Number three, identity confusion. So, enmeshment can lead to a lack of clear individual identities. Individuals may struggle to differentiate their own desires, needs, and feelings from those of the enmeshed person. And this can make self-discovery and self-expression challenging. Going back to parents, if a parent is enmeshed with their child, it becomes increasingly difficult for that child to have an identity that conflicts with the ideal that their parents hold. Again, in this sense, there's no line of demarcation, there's no space for altering that personality, which kind of leads to the next point. Number four, difficulty with autonomy. Achieving personal autonomy and making independent decisions can be a significant challenge for those in an enmeshed relationship. The influence of the enmeshed relationship may extend to controlling individual actions and choices. And I would say that there's an inherent element of control in enmeshed relationships, as the boundaries are erased in efforts to control oneself and the environment. Number five, emotional fusion, right? These changes happen not only on the level of identity, but also with the expression of emotions. Emotional boundaries blur, leading to an extreme level of shared emotional experiences. It can become difficult for people to process their emotions separately from those of the enmeshed individual, further complicating self-awareness and emotional regulation. Number six, loss of individuality. So enmeshment often results in a loss of personal boundaries and diminished sense of individuality. Individuals may feel as though they're living to fulfill someone else's needs and desires, neglecting their own. This is why enmeshment thrives in a codependent environment. Leading to the next point, number seven, codependency. Enmeshment is closely related to codependency, a pattern where individuals become overly reliant on each other for emotional support, validation, and well-being. So if you want more information about codependency, please check out my video about that topic. I'll link it somewhere in the video. Number eight, difficulty in other relationships. Enmeshed individuals may struggle to establish and maintain healthy relationships outside of the enmeshed dynamic. Their ability to connect with others and set appropriate boundaries in new relationships can become compromised. Number nine, emotional manipulation. In enmeshed relationships, emotional manipulation, guilt, or coercion may be used to maintain the status quo. This manipulation can make it difficult for one or both individuals to assert their own needs, desires, or setting and keeping boundaries. Number 10, anxiety and emotional turmoil. Enmeshment can lead to a heightened anxiety and emotional turmoil as individuals consistently and constantly worry about the well-being and happiness of the enmeshed person, often at the expense of their own emotional health. There's also a fear of letting the other person down or injuring the other person with any individual behavior. This can be conscious or unconscious. It's important to note that enmeshment is not limited to family relationships and can extend to romantic relationships, friendships, or even in the workplace. This dynamic is widely considered to be unhealthy because it stifles individual growth and can lead to significant emotional distress. Recognizing and addressing enmeshment issues often requires therapeutic intervention, such as family therapy or individual counseling, to help individuals and relationships develop healthier, more balanced dynamics. This process can lead to a greater emotional intimacy, self identity, and improved well being. Again, like I always say, while I am a licensed mental health professional, I might not be your licensed mental health professional. So please, if you need assistance with any of these issues, this is not meant to replace any counseling or therapeutic intervention. It's just to provide you with information. So please, again, reach out to a professional if you need additional help.